Good day to all who are watching this video, and this is Dr. Jawahar Surisetti from Jawahar Sarki Class Presents Youth Talks. We have with us Yukti from NMIMS Mumbai. Hi Yukti.
Hello sir.
What do you do in NMIMS?
Sir, I'm currently pursuing BBA and second year, and my third semester is about to start.
Okay. So has it been postponed?
So we currently haven't received any notice from our college, but there's one email which we got, which was about the submission of the fees, amounted about 2.75 lakhs, and they sent us a mail that we have been promoted to the third semester and the fees
needs to be deposited.
Yes, sir. And that's it. And we haven't received any commencement notice yet.
So there are no classes going on online or something like that?
So we are officially on our summer breaks right now. So they're not taking any classes.
So March, April have some online classes happened?
Yes, sir. Till I guess till April 10, we attended online sessions, and then after that, we had submissions, exams, online tests, and then we got promoted.
Okay. How do you like the journey from school to college? Is there any difference?
So there's a huge difference, which I feel personally, because I got a lot of exposure, number one, and number two, I feel that I lost my confidence a bit because of the fear of people maybe, and also number three, which is very important, I was out of my comfort zone, so it was not easy to manage everything as per my plan.
Okay, does this happen to all small town people?
Sir, I think it does happen. I mean, it may depend on person to person, but I think there's not a discrimination against the small town or the metro city people. It's about an individual, I feel. Okay. And if you can be strong or confident enough and you have been exposed enough before, then you're not afraid. But if you are somewhat lacking, then you might feel, you might take time to get adjusted to the environment.
So just out of curiosity, yes, is it that if parents become overprotective, this happens?
Sir, if I talk personally, then I feel partially it is true, because I've always wanted to go outdoors whenever my school organized anything, and wanted to go out more and expose myself more. And apparently my parents allowed me only for the educational stuff and not for any extracurricular stuff. So I lack there, I feel.
Okay. So in your case, especially, is your choice of course purely yours or your parents?
So purely mine.
Purely yours. So in that case, they have given you a free hand.
Yes, sir. They have never pressurized me or forced me to do something which they want, and that's a very good thing.
Okay. So that's clear. Now the third thing is, how good is it for your life to get into a very good prestigious college, maybe a bad course, or vis-a-vis that, getting into a very bad college with a very good course?
Sir, I think college is the university and the college is very important, and of course the course is important, but I don't think a bad course or a good course exists personally, because if I'm good, for example, if I'm good at a non-conventional thing which many people don't.
Carry on.
Oh yeah, so I don't think there is a bad course or a good course. I just think that there's just a discrimination, and I personally don't believe that a bad course does exist, because it's upon us that what do we get from it. Okay. And secondly, a bad college does exist because of the infrastructure, the administration, the management, and obviously the faculty. Because for example, if I would have studied in any college which is not very much recognized, or which is a very normal college, and I've again chosen a course of my choice, I would have tried more and I would have to work harder to get a lot of things out of it. And I think I would have been less exposed to opportunities and to the thing which a student needs of that course. For example, our college provides us with stuff like free Coursera guides and a lot of things. So yeah, a bad course does not exist, but a bad college does exist.
Exists. Okay. Uh, how difficult is it to adjust in Mumbai after going from a place which is much smaller?
Sir, it is not very difficult because I think Mumbai is a very welcoming city. But yes, there are points where you feel that, I felt that I'm so dumb that I don't know that. Because there are things which we don't know because we have not, हमें तो पता ही नहीं था कि ऐसा ऐसा कुछ भी exist करता है. So yeah, that's a small point. But बाकी तो sir, it depends कि what you choose basically. If you choose to go that way or that way.
Okay. Okay. Now, see, coincidentally, all the major educational hubs where people migrate to, which includes Bombay, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, Pune, are all infected to a large extent.
Yes, sir.
So, how do you foresee whether people will stop going there?
So we can't, anybody cannot stop going there because there's a need. And after some day or after some amount of time, we have like I have to continue my education and people have to continue their jobs. Companies have to stop the work from home structure because, we need a one-to-one interaction. We cannot depend on digitalization always. So I don't think people will stop going there. Yeah, they'll be more precauted. They'll be more careful, and they'll have more options. They might consider more options, and they might want to stay in their hometowns for a longer time and go after for a postgraduate or for a job. But they can't stop going there because opportunities and everything, it lies there.
Okay. In context to Mumbai, they say it's very fast. Also, there is a huge amount of corporate invested there. So, in terms of Mumbai colleges and students, one is that you have already told they are very exposed. But the second thing is, are the opportunities going to be the same as they used to be earlier, or they'll reduce?
Sir, they're definitely going to reduce because we all know that their recession has already been hit. And for a lot of my seniors who passed out this year, they applied for jobs. They applied for campus placements. They got jobs, but they haven't. I don't know how many of them have received the joining letter or maybe started their jobs. And that's the truth because companies, if they're not able to, what I feel is if they're not able to personally afford their existing clients, it's not easy to get new clients. They might not want to switch because they already have the experience holders, they're trained staff, so they might not want to switch. So it will be very difficult and opportunities are going to reduce.
So what is the effect of this on the student's mind psychologically?
So they're very scared. First thing is they're very scared because people who have opted for postgraduate and are not doing job are just preparing for it. But people who wanted to have a good work experience and then continue their further studies, they're scared because they might not get the company which they wanted. For example, I know a person who, from my college, he got a job in JP Morgan, and I don't think if he has got there, like started working there. And when I had a talk with him, he could not understand where to go next. He was very confused, and he said that he'll wait and then he might start something of his own or might continue for MBA because he was about to drop the idea of doing a job right now because there are no opportunities.
Okay. So if you are freshly out of school, then what is it that you think needs to change in the school education to make you more equipped with the worldly skills?
Sir, what I think is to be changed for the school curriculum is that uh, they should teach us to be more practical. They should tell us that, when in college, uh, I have realized that only studying what the college teaches us is not sufficient. You always need to have something extra, and that extra is where people get confused because they don't know what extra they need. So from school level, if we know that this is my plus point and this is the extra which I need to be the best, if I'm just an average or just not very good, if the school tells us our good points and our strong points and works individually upon students, so I think it will be a better thing. Or mainly, I think the school and the curriculum, especially the Indian curriculum, which I feel it lacks choices and it lacks freedom. We cannot switch after we have taken one decision. We cannot, if for example, if I want to change my course right now, I would have to start from scratch. And that is a very big point which disappoints me because there are people who want to switch. They सबको नहीं
Yes.
पता होता what to do. So I
Yes.
think this is the whole thing with the school
So,
lacks.
okay, last question,
Yes,
and this is with regard to Sushant Singh Rajput's
yes,
suicide.
sir. Yes, sir.
So, what is it, just out of a general knowledge, what is it that would have provoked him to commit suicide?
Sir, people say that it's depression, and it might be a case of depression, or he might have felt severely unwanted or maybe abandoned.
Okay.
But,
So, carry on.
sir, but what I think is there are pros and cons of everything, and I've been going through Twitter since 3 days, and the only trending I see is about Karan Johar, boycott Bollywood, Karan Johar gang to be boycotted, and no, I know Sushant needs justice and everything. But there are people who say the other things also. Like there are people who are very openly opposing the nepotism and everything, but there are people who are telling that there are talented people. They come out like Sara Ali Khan and a lot of them. But what I feel is a person should be strong enough to deal with problems, and suicide could be his decision, but it should not be a decision of anybody because God has given us lives, and which is very precious. He should have thought about his family, especially his father, and he should have tried more. If not been accepted in Bollywood, he would have just left Bollywood and started something of his own. But giving up on life is not an option.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what I.
So, what is the backup or what is the support system that one should have in such a case?
In case of, in case of.
A minute before I think of suicide, it's a very fleeting moment. It comes
Yes.
only for a few minutes. During that time, if he has a call or he can call someone or a support system, it is averted. This is usually the case. So, who is it that we should look to when that feeling of suicide or thought comes in?
So I don't think, like for example, we cannot easily communicate to our parents. Like we have
Yes, agreed.
a limit to communication, and that limit is what I feel is the biggest drawback of our society, because they are the ones who will be giving us the right guidelines, but they are the ones
Yes.
who never talk to.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest drawback. Also, so one thing which you asked me, I have a better answer for that about the school, what a school should have. So they should have counselors who talk to people emotionally and they try to understand the psychology of a student. Because we don't have anybody जिससे हम बोल सके कि यार आज नहीं मन कर रहा है, and we don't want to just do it. Just to express
Yeah,
ourselves
yeah.
openly.
You're right. You're right.
Because people fight, like students fight, and they want to express, but they're afraid, sir. So that's why I think the school should have somebody who is emotionally connected to the students and, makes them more emotionally strong.
Good, good, good. So thank you very much for interacting, and best of luck for your future.
Thank you so much, sir.